This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist Evan Thomason.
Hey, good morning. Welcome on to the First Alert Weather Breakdown. I am meteorologist Evan Thomason here in the First Alert Weather Breakdown Center. Oh my goodness. Can I just take a moment to relax, please? Oh man, it's a brand new work week, and yet I feel like this is almost an extended work week from last week. Thankfully, though, I will say this entire work week should be great. It should be lovely. Should be sunny, which makes my job and your job easier. And not only that, we also help out our environment by doing this as well. No worries about drought, certainly, from the rain over the past couple of days, but we've been getting too much wet weather here into the Arklatex. It has been mind-boggling, honestly, some of the rain totals around here over the past couple of days. But essentially, both you and I and our environment, we all need a break. We finally have one. Obviously, 4 straight first alert weather days. Just wild between the span of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of last week. Yesterday was the first day we didn't have that. But yesterday, we still had lingering misty, cloudy, muggy conditions. I wouldn't even call it really a good day at all. Turns out, that moisture kind of stayed trapped in place at least for one more day. And it was the same case this morning for those of you who have gotten out already earlier this morning. The mist is still kind of lingered on into the early morning hours, but now it's a lot better. I wouldn't say it's maybe not a lot better, but it is better, certainly. I think the mist is slowly rising away, and most of that's because our cloud cover is finally starting to fade away a little bit. If you notice, it's not a complete blanket. We've had some peaks of sunshine here actually on this camera a little earlier this morning. It now looks like we've built in a little more passing clouds as time has gone on. But regardless, hey, we are going to lead ourselves into a sunny afternoon. It is going to be great. Welcome back again into the First Alert Weather Breakdown. Here's our so again, we have I realized I checked my agenda graphic and I accidentally didn't refresh it. Whoops. That's okay. I can tell you what we're going on here for the day today. Essentially, we're going over our local forecast. For those of you just joining us, we go over our local forecast a lot more in depth on this First Alert Weather Breakdown Weather Podcast here as part of KSLA News 12 because we only have so much time, essentially, on our news program. So for those of you that kind of just want to get down to the nitty-gritty of things, talk all things weather, talk about recapping things that happened over the weekend, looking to our future forecast more in store, well, that's what we're here for on the First Alert Weather Breakdown. So, yeah. But, again, my best thing for the day today, at least for you and I, is a nice break where I can get some sleep, get some, get my healthy dose of things that I need to do this week, so to speak. Believe it or not, I'll go ahead and let you in on this. Last Wednesday, and you know what, I should have planned better. On my part. I didn't realize I would get called into work. I got called into work 3 out of the 4 days outside of my shift. On the first alert weather days between Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I was planning on doing my taxes Wednesday night. Let's just say that did not get done. And then this past weekend, first of all, half the weekend I was still working on Saturday. Then yesterday just did not feel the energy to do anything. And now I'm back to work here today, wondering why the weekend lasted so short. Case in point. I'll be doing my taxes this week. Obviously, tax deadline is next Tuesday. Not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. So we'll be doing that shortly. But the point is, yes, thankfully, first of all, thanks to all of you who stayed weather aware out there with us here at KSLA News 12. I did not report. Thankfully, the best detail of all, I know you're going to hear a lot about the flooding here in a little bit, but the best detail of all is that I did not hear any fatalities at all, which was good news from the Arklatex or regionally. I have heard some regionally, but here in the Arklatex, we have not had any fatalities, thankfully, from any of the tornadic systems or storms that went on through or any of the flash flooding, which was best news of all. So let's get straight into the forecast. I'll also like to say thanks to those of you who watched our streams last week. Got tremendous viewership here for the first alert weather days that came on through. Obviously not expecting the same as much as today. It's sunny out, or it will be sunny out later today, and overall it is a calm, tame 7-day forecast. And hey, I do not mind that one bit. One bit. Sometimes I get bored on like a week like this, like twiddle my thumbs, what am I talking about? But no, I could use a good lengthy break, and I keep using that word too much. All right, so let's get to the weather headlines here for the day today. Sunshine is back. That is the best news of all. You're into the Arklatex. Some of us have already seen it out this morning. It's going to be definitely back by this afternoon. I kind of, on the morning shows, I kind of projected it right around lunchtime, but overall, I think it should be back here by this afternoon, at the latest, quite frankly. And overall, all of tomorrow, the course of the entire day tomorrow is looking to be full of plentiful sunshine and dry conditions, which will be fantastic. I'm gonna specifically pan some of my shots tomorrow morning to feature that nice, beautiful sunrise here tomorrow as well, which will be great. For those of you just joining us also and wondering why you're stalling and or I won't say stalling, but talking so much on, just one certain graphic there for you. Again, this is pretty much what we do on the first look with the breakdown. It's just your extended forecast. I get to chill. I get to, I still get to talk about the weather forecast. True, yes, but we get into the nitty gritty of things. I also make sure I go over each and every point I want with the forecast. I don't just have to quickly breeze on by like Roadrunner here on this weather forecast, so to speak. But anyways, back to it. Cold temperatures are in store for the day today. If you haven't been out yet, it is chilly, especially out this morning. We had lows down to the 40s here. Finally starting to warm up a little bit. We'll get a good look at those current temperatures here in just a moment. But it's cold here this morning. It's going to be cold here for tomorrow morning as well. Our warming trend really doesn't start until tomorrow afternoon, and that's going to last for a good part of the work week upcoming, which will be great. So temperature change between this time yesterday and today, about the same. Remember, it was cold out yesterday, too, around the Arklatex, and believe it or not, this is not the graphic I wanted to show. I wanted to show the actual temperatures, but that works, too. And for the Arklatex, there are the actual temperatures. Temperatures in the mid-50s here for you out the door. 54 in Shreveport, 55 in Texarkana, 52 in Bienville, 52 for Natchitoches, 54 in Bienville, 52 in Bienville. All right, so here's our upper-level pattern here. I don't use this graphic too often, but today's a good day to use it because we got major temperature swings over the next couple days, and we don't have much happening in the sky department. What I mean by that is not much is being formed rain-wise here over the next several days. We'll get to that in just a minute. But I want to talk more about the temperatures because this is a definite theme. Overall, we got cold air continuing to pile into the Arklatex here throughout the day today. That's giving us a northerly breeze, and it's a good breeze, I will say at that. Not as windy as the weekend and over the first weather days, but winds sustained around 10 miles an hour overall for a good portion of the afternoon. Most of that wind's going to be coming from the north, continuing to pile in cold air, which is essentially fighting how much we warm up into this afternoon. And that's going to lead us again into another chilly Tuesday morning. But then our jet stream levels out. And what I mean by that is it stays a lot more streamlined. What we call, you can also call it a lot more of a zonal flow, which is a little bit of a meteorological, nerdy term. But in essence, what that means, a zonal flow, is it just goes essentially more due west to due east across the United States. Yes, it still comes out of the northwest, but it's less of a sharp decline of the jet stream, which essentially is going to cut off our cold air supply just by enough to where our Arklatex environment can actually warm up a good bit here. And we're going to look to do that heading into the middle of this week. In fact, Thursday looks to be your warmest day of the work week. I know that says warming into Wednesday, but I also wanted to show you that Thursday is when our cold front hits. Granted, it will be a dry cold front. Not going to give us much of a chance of wet weather, but we are expecting to have a little quick, cool shot of some air coming on through here for your Thursday before looking to warm back up into the weekend. It will be I don't even think that's the little Thursday cold front's just going to leave a dent into our temperatures here for Friday, and that's it. Overall highs are back above 80 degrees for the weekend. Yeah, it's going to warm up by that much here over the next several days. Highs today, though, mid-60s. Coldest day of the work week, coldest day out of the next 7 days here for the day today. Nice and chilly for those of you who enjoy in weather where you're not sweating in t-shirt and shorts. Today is your day to do so, and day to get out and enjoy the cooler conditions around. Tomorrow morning, it will be cold. These are about similar low temperatures to what you woke up to this morning. Tuesday morning, lows getting down into the low to mid 40s before the warm-up starts. And we'll start with temperatures getting into the lower 70s here for tomorrow afternoon. Lows for Wednesday morning only getting down to around 50 degrees here for the most part. So those will start, the morning temperatures will start to warm up into Wednesday morning too, before we reach highs around 80 degrees here for your Wednesday. And it continues to warm up. 84 for Thursday, getting up into the mid-80s then. And then there's that little dent in the temperatures that will happen into your Friday. Highs in the mid-70s for you then, before heading into highs in the mid-80s here for the weekends. Yeah, we get a nice toasty weekend coming up here too. Future track, again, clouds are still in the process of peeling away across the region. The last little remaining cloud cover is going to be present around northwest Louisiana and Natchitoches for the afternoon hours. But overall, nice, abundant sunshine. And that's not just through Wednesday. That's through us all work week long. Now, normally I would spend a good amount of time, talking about what we're seeing with future systems coming up, details around that with the rain, but there's none to talk about, quite frankly. The only slim chance of rain that we have is on Thursday, and that's from that's giving us just a quick dose of some wet weather to areas off to our east here again, on Thursday. That comes essentially with the cold front, which will give us rain off to our north and east, but not into the Arklatex is the point. So, yeah, next 7 days entirely look to be rain-free. That is going to be great to enjoy. I will say, though, however, the 12-day forecast next work week does look to feature rain on it. We'll get to more on that here in just a little bit in the long-term forecast, the long-term forecast. This is still the long-term forecast into the weekend. Overall, just nice, abundant sunshine. Just a 10% rain chance in for your Thursday. From some of that rain off to our northeast, maybe a hint of that creeping in here for Thursday. But overall, I don't see much in terms of wet weather over the entire next week, which will be great. Again, highs go from 66 today up to 84 for Thursday. Keep in mind the morning temperatures still getting below 50 degrees for the next 2 mornings, so still pretty chilly. Down to 77 on Friday before highs reach the mid-80s, certainly by Sunday, lower 80s for Saturday afternoon. So this weekend certainly looking a lot better than last weekend. And, yeah, I think that can be easily said. Anyways, we're going to toss it real quick to a commercial break. We're going to talk and recap the storms over the weekend. We're also going to look forward to when rain is exactly coming back. We'll peek into that, again, long-term forecast when we come back. Stick with us here on the First Alert with a Breakdown. Hey, welcome on back to the First Alert Weather Breakdown. Welcome back to the First Alert Weather Breakdown, I should say again. Not going to lie, I think I accidentally spoke too soon before the end of the commercial break for those of you watching on the live stream. Anyways, we're going to take a look at two different things when it comes to our exclusive content on the First Alert Weather Breakdown. So that's essentially what we do. We go full forecast and then go into exclusive content that goes beyond kind of just your normal forecast here for the day. For the day today, I know what the words, Evan, the app, not the app. Well, I guess the app. The notification, that's the word for it. The notification for the First Alert Weather Breakdown said we were going into a full recap on the storms. We are technically doing that a little bit for the day today, but not a lot. And let me explain. First of all, the National Weather Service is still kind of reeling in their data here for the day today and just getting they're going to get full reports on everything that happened over the weekend, mainly coming out tomorrow. And the main reason for that is even the stuff on Wednesday, we had a confirmed tornado on Wednesday. They couldn't get out into that because it was still, there were severe storms still through Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You can't really go out into that, especially into those elements, obviously, with all the rain and everything to assess that kind of damage. So they're getting reports and still gathering information as we speak, including rain totals. So they're all over that, and we'll have more details on that coming up a little later on in this week on the First Alert Weather Breakdown. I also wanted to let our other meteorologists say what they have to say later in a Met Chat. That will be the Met Chat topic, by the way, for the later part of this week. Is literally talking back on the First Alert First Alert Weather Days that we had last week. So they will add some stuff as well. I mainly just want to give you some damage reports of what came into our office. Just so you know, we are in constant contact with the National Weather Service here at KSLA News 12, which is great. Partnership, obviously, they are the ones who make out the tornado warnings, watches, severe thunderstorms, watches, warnings, all those kind of things. So they're the forefront of essentially watching out the skies. We are too, but we help, obviously, relay the info that they gave us, especially with the watches and warnings, out to you guys anytime that happens. So right now I'm actually pulling up the preliminary damage reports that I got back from our National Weather Service chat here over the weekend. I will say the biggest areas that I'd watch out for, Lafayette County in Arkansas, Miller County in Arkansas, and Upshur County in Texas. Those seem to be the three biggest counties that had damage here over the weekend. Before we get into some of the specifics with those areas, I know Upshur isn't even in the Arklatex. Miller and Lafayette counties both are, though. Texarkana also is included in Miller County, with some big things that hit around that area as well. Before we get into that, just to go over some of the other county damages, Red River County had water over their roadways. Also confirmed tornado damage east of Bogota. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Sorry. In Cass County, we had water over the main street in Atlanta, Texas. In Morris, we had tree snaps and overturned cars in Lone Star. In the Texarkana, before I get to the Texarkana area, because that had some massive stuff. In Hempstead County, we had some tornado warnings issued near Hope, Arkansas, over the weekend there. And one of those forced a tree to fall on top of I-30 going northbound, which caused a huge traffic delay. I believe that was on Saturday, so on a weekend day too. So that was not great for stop-and-go traffic, obviously, in that area. And on top of that, we had the severe storms too. So to kind of go over other preliminary stuff that happened in our most hit areas, first of all, Miller and Lafayette counties, they have a levee breach actually in that area. We at KSLA News 12 are working to learn more about it. They are under flash flood warning, believe it or not, for both counties due to that levee breach. And usually you get flash flood warnings, obviously, with storms on top of the Arklatex, usually for the most part. But obviously, it's a nice sunny day, or it's a completely dry day here for your Monday. Yet amazing that we have a flash flood warning in effect for that area, despite the completely dry conditions. Is what I'm trying to get at. It's quite wild. I wish the best for everybody in that area. Hopefully, it's not doing too much damage, water damage. That is, water's one of the worst. One of the worst things that can cause damage, and especially because it's hard to predict. It's hard to predict when these occurrences do happen, and I just wish the best for everybody in that scenario along those rivers, and along that area. It's tough. We still do have a couple road closures due to high roads. I believe one of those is in Caddo Parish as well, northern Caddo Parish. So watching out for that. Texarkana had to evacuate people from an apartment complex for some of their apartments getting flooded out. We had a big section of I-30 in Texarkana closed over the weekend. Also, multiple trees snapped in Miller County due to tornado damage, most of that near Garland. One of the areas had reports of a roof, roof damage as well. A few were trees down. Pretty much tornado typical. I won't say typical, but some hefty tornado damage in areas of Miller County. Some of that went into Lafayette as well. But Garland, thinking about you, especially today, after hearing about some of these reports. So, yeah, wild weekend. I'm hiding some of these damage reports as well. I'm not going to go over everything. We're going to share over more of these damage reports. And go over, I think, a good, solid recap in and of its entirety on Wednesday, especially when we get the tornado reports in as well. So, yeah, I'm going to hold off and let some things be of, I won't say surprise, but we'll go into everything a lot more in depth coming up on our show on Wednesday. We're going to record a Met Chat. First time in a while, by the way, with me, Matt, CJ, and Austin. So, obviously, all four of us covered that late last week, and all four of us said in the Met Chat today, or said in our little phone text message here today, we're glad for the dry weather. All right, so now that system's over with, when's the next one coming through? Again, 7-day forecast is completely dry, but let's see what we can look forward to in the next 6 to 10 days. First of all, looks like warm temperatures are coming back. Well, that is trending above average here in the temperature outlook, which goes into next work week. As for the rain, it looks to stay dry the next 6 to 10 days, which is honestly amazing. You know, you have the next 7 days pretty dry, given this good solid break from all the wet weather that we had. I will say the 12-day forecast, I can go ahead and pinpoint this out for you right now. This is one of the things I want to lead off or finish off with. The full 12-day forecast does hold rain on it into next work week. Here you see Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Most of those are spotty chances of rain at this point. I'm not seeing anything massive, but I'm just seeing a few signals of rain returning back next week, despite what that Climate Prediction Center outlook shows. Although the Climate Prediction Center outlook, to be fair, goes over day 7 to day 10, which it does include Sunday and Monday, which I know will be dry. The soonest rain starts to come back, it looks like it's around Tuesday. We're gonna keep you first alert. Obviously, that's the point of having the 12-day forecast, is to see when rain could come back, if there's any major shifts in the pattern of temperatures, or in this case, as I said, rain. We'll see. We'll see what happens next week, but I think we'll get a good sign of that more towards Thursday and Friday. For the meantime, I'm just going to enjoy telling you that it's sunny and it's warming up here for the next couple of days around here, and that is your full forecast here in the Arklatex. All right. Cool. When we come back, we're going to recap this episode real quick, and we'll see what you can look forward to for tomorrow's episode for your Tuesday. If you notice, I'm still tired for the weekend. Bear with me. But yeah, we're going to have a nice full week of first star weather breakdowns. I promise you get a full night of sleep tonight. I will. That'll at least help out a little bit more. But anyways, we'll recap this episode right after this. Stick with us. Welcome on back to the first alert weather breakdown. Again, I'm meteorologist Evan Thompson. Thank you very much for watching today's stream. You got a little recap of things that happened. Obviously, I feel for anybody that got tornado damage and flash flooding damage. That was the two big issues heading into the first alert weather days, plural, and it certainly made its mark. Again, areas mostly around Texarkana. Wishing you guys all the best. Hopefully you made it out just fine. Obviously I heard over the weekend other things, man, just people had to get rescued out of cars from some of those high waters. Geez, I hope you're doing all right. I hope you're doing all right. Hope you're doing better. The forecast is in your favor with this nice, dry, sunny weather. Again, not just for us to be able to recover, but also for the environment. Most important, Arklatex environment to recover as well. So, yeah, wish all the best. But, again, thankfully, hey, I got sunshine in store for you. All right, coming up for tomorrow's First Alert with a Breakdown, for the first time this year, we are talking tropics. Tropical season of 2025 is less than 2 months away. It starts at the beginning of June. 2 months away. I know you probably don't want to hear about that at all, and you're probably not coming tomorrow. But anyways, the point is tomorrow we'll be going over a preview of what tropical season could look like. Colorado State University came out with their latest prediction for what this season could look like. We'll go into that. In the process of going over that, we'll get a little bit of a recap of what happened last year too, and see if we see any similarities, if we can kind of see if it's going to be similar. It's going to be a little different. I hope it's going to be different. We don't need another barrel situation in here into the Arklatex. That was rough during that day. As we'll say, everything around that time frame was pretty chill and dry here for the most part. But, boy, that gave us buckets and buckets of rain along with the big tornadic threat, which was a big worry, I know, for a lot of people here in the Arklatex. So, we're keeping you first alert to that tropical season that will start up in June. So still got 2 months, but hey, we'll see what's on the horizon, so to speak. Anyways, thanks for watching the First Alert Weather Breakdown. I'm meteorologist Evan Thompson. I'll see you tomorrow for that episode. You be there, be square, and most importantly, be weather aware. Enjoy your sunny week, and I'll see you tomorrow, 10:30. Peace out.